Welcome to Take a Break, Take a Breath for Wednesday, February 17th. I'm Rick Boyer, the pastor of Prospect Presbyterian Church, and Take a Break, Take a Breath is an invitation to pause in your day, to rest from all of the things that you are doing for just a little while, and to remember God who made you and loves you and calls you by name and knows you even better than you know yourself. Each Take a Break, Take a Breath time, I've been talking about a different psalm, and today's psalm is Psalm 138. Psalm 138 by some is considered to be a general song of thanksgiving, probably consistent with the time of the post-exile, and the psalm's style and themes are very similar to Isaiah 40 to 66, which is that time of hope, of God restoring the people and bringing them back from the exile, of taking care of them. And that's the character of this psalm as we think about it. I want to focus on verse 7. Verse 7 is, though I walk in the midst of trouble, you preserve me against the wrath of my enemies. You stretch out your hand. The psalmist at the very beginning of the psalm says that he sings praises before the face of the gods, small g gods, which is really in the face of. And think of that phrase that some people use, in your face, that this psalmist is singing right up against the enemy and singing praise right up against the enemy. And this image in verse 7 of God stretching out God's right hand, or God's hand, is one that it has some personal things for me, because when I was ordained, the minister who prayed the ordination prayer used an old Scottish prayer in which he prayed that God would hold me in the hollow of God's hand. And I want to use that image as well. So I invite you to find a place that is quiet in your house if you haven't already done so, and to close the door and settle into a comfortable chair and take some deep breaths. Allow yourself some space from all of the things that you've been doing and that you will have to do later today. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in God's breath of life, and breathe out all that does not give you life. Breathe in the Spirit of God. Breathe out all that separates you from God. Breathe in God's peace. And breathe out all of your worries and fears and anxieties and things that don't give you peace. Allow that peace to spread in your body as you continue to breathe with your eyes closed. Perhaps imagine it like the waters of a shower. As the water runs down over your head and your face, you feel the peace and calm washing over you. Your mind begins to slow and relax. The muscles in your face relax, and you might even smile. As it washes down over your neck, the peace of God brings relaxation to the muscles in your neck and the tensions that you've been holding there. As it washes down your shoulders and your arms, The peace of God penetrates into your shoulders and releases all of the tension that you've been holding on to there. And if your shoulders have been hunched, they drop, relaxed. And as it runs down over your hands, if your hands have been closed, if your fingers have been closed, you open them. And maybe even turn them palms up to receive God's love and grace. As it washes down over your chest, your breathing is deep and calm and life-giving. Your heart rate is restful heart rate. As it washes down over your stomach, the jitters and the flutters and the anxieties in your stomach are settled. As it washes down your back, all of the tensions that you've been holding in your back are released, and the pain melts away. As it washes down over your hips and your thighs and your calves, all the way to the tip of your toes, the muscles relax, and you are at peace. For you are immersed in the presence and peace of God. And then in your mind's eye, imagine a gentle, loving giant. I know, it sounds odd. This is fantasy. Imagine that the giant places a hand down where you are and gently lifts you and smiles at you and speaks softly to you. The giant tells you that the giant will stretch out this hand to care for you and to watch over you and to love you. You and the giant have some time to talk. I'll be quiet while you spend some time in the hollow of God's hand. And then it comes to the time when your conversation is ending. giant lets you know that you are loved. And the giant gently places you down on the ground by lowering the hand. Now you let that image fade away, and you bring yourself back to the room where you are. And when you are ready, open your eyes. Let's take a break, take a breath for Wednesday, February 17th. Today is Ash Wednesday and the beginning of the Lenten season. So I invite you to think about how you might want to spend your Lenten season. What might you want to do for your own spiritual exercises besides take a break, take a breath? The church is sending out a daily email with some scripture and prayer and reflection. If you're not getting that, or if you want to send me feedback, or you want to talk or pray together, send an email to rick@prospectchurch.org.